Hey, welcome back to Big Family Life in this Simpson family home. This morning we're cooking for brunch. We're cooking ackee and saltfish, and we are just doing a quick check-in because we processed all those vegetables we showed you in the first segment. And I was remiss in the first segment because I wanted to make sure this segment that I let you know that it was Brooke who was in charge of getting together all my ingredients when we're in the kitchen, as I've said before. Teamwork makes the dream work. So when I'm in here, I usually have either Phoenix with me, Brooke with me, Baby with me, one of the boys even. And what they will do is they will act as sous chef to myself, so to speak. So if I need ingredients, they're responsible for getting the onions, the tomatoes, you know what I mean. And it's age specific. The task that I give them obviously is age specific. I am teaching them some basic knife skills because I believe that knives are like guns, and proper education is the key, right? Because if I want you to do something, I have to give you the information in order to be able to do it. So we are bringing them along slowly with their knife skills, and they can do more like that in the kitchen as well. So this morning she is here, she gets all my ingredients together, and now we're back because we're going to start making the dough for the fried dumpling. And when we start cooking that, what we have over here, we have a pot of oil, a pan of oil, and it's at about medium heat. Because I don't like to have the temperature too high, because then you have to be really quick in turning it. Whereas if the temperature is at just the right temperature, you still have, because we put quite a few in there, the temperature is hot enough that we still have enough time to rotate them and cook them, and as they go around the pot. And that's Brooke's job. She'll be over the frying pan, and she'll have her tongs, and she's got herself set up over there, and she'll be turning the dumplings as they're in the pot, and they cook, and then we take them out, dry them off in oil, and I like to put them in the oven for a little bit just to keep them warm, and yeah, really just to keep them warm. I don't, the cooking process is done in the frying pan. So we're gonna start on this. Wish me luck. Last 2 times I threw out at least 1 batch. So and what, if you recall, I had said that the flour, once you incorporate the baking powder and you start to mix, it actually loosens the flour. The flour becomes looser. And that's what I meant when I said the consistency changes. You can actually get a whip or a fork through it much easier than if it's just flour. When it's flour and baking powder or baking soda, it goes through much easier. It's a much looser. So what we've got here, speed on. I've got my rubber spatula. Water going in. Here we go. I really should, oh boy, you see, I was just about to say, I really should have Phoenix over here using her mixer, because, you know, I tend to do boneheaded things like forget the most rudimentary things. Oh no, I didn't forget. It was locked into position. Excellent. We can continue. Okay. Warp factor 1. Aye, aye, Captain. Add a little bit more water. You know, I could probably watch a video on how to, I mean, I don't need to, because I know how to use these industrially, the big ones. These little ones here, what I'm doing is just kind of trying to get the flour towards the center while avoiding that hook. I could watch a video, but I'm a dude, man. I just don't do instructions, you know? I mean, put together like bedroom furniture. I've got all these like parts and components left over, like, and so I just put them in the toolbox, all those screws and stuff, and I just use them for the next stuff I put together. It's just extras. I don't put stuff together. I let the wife do it. I'm the heavy lifter. Right, the stuff need to get to where it need to go. That's what I do. And when it comes time to put the stuff together, Mom and Fifi do that. And it's really interesting watching them work, because they're both alphas. And so watching them trying to work together is so very interesting. And I haven't had to break up a fist fight yet. But we've gotten close. Never a dull moment in the Simpson family home. We're getting close, because I'm almost out of water. And, you know, it's coming together. And the bowl is not rocking. A couple times I put a little bit too much flour, and the bowl starts to rock and wobble, and, you know, I'm going to tech this out a little bit. Oh boy, we're close. Oh boy, there we go. Oh boy. There we go. We're close. Warp 1. Engage. That's my little nod to, if you're a Trekkie, Captain Kirk, you'll understand what I'm talking. Engage. Or no, that's Picard. Engage. Jean-Luc. Yeah, I don't think we're going to add any more flour to that. Or, excuse me, water. Come on, guy. Excuse me. We're going to go in there, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not very encouraged, but we'll see. I'm bad about 50% using this thing, and I don't even know why I use it anymore, because when I do it by hand, I do it 100%, but whatever. Here we go. That's not bad. It's, yeah. I could, you know, I could put a little bit of water in there yet to get a little, oh dear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this by hand, because if I try to do it in there, I'm going to add too much water. So I'm just going to finish this, rolling this out by hand, and then what I do is that I'll let it rest. It's just a ball of dough, you know, like you're making a loaf of bread. It's a little bit dry, so I'm going to add just a touch more water. Just put some moisture on my hand there. Yeah, that's better. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to treat it just like if you're making buns or rolls, dinner rolls. And what I'm going to do is I'll just cut off a little piece like that after it's rested, and you know, and get it in the pot. And I want this to rest a couple minutes before I do that. So Bucky, can you get me a new one of these, please, baby? Before I start to work it, I want it to rest for probably about 5 minutes, because I found it's not something that I've ever really done in the past. However, it's probably a good idea when you're doing any kind of baking. You mix your dough, you want to let have it had a chance to rest. Now, if you come over here, you'll look at those greens that we were talking about, all that food that, thank you, baby, all that food that needed to be processed. What we did was chopped it up. It's in the pot, it's in the wok, and it's just sauteed. Right, so you see that all the peppers are in there, the onions are in there, the bok choy is in there for the leafy greens, and then I've got like I've got half a clove of garlic in there that I put in the press and just dumped it in there, and I've got that big chunk of ginger that I told you all about. I'm gonna chop up all of that. Normally I might use this plain here, then just grate it in there, but my ginger froze on me the other day. The back of the fridge is a little bit hot at times, and I think this got a little bit frozen, and so I can't grate it. So I'll just chop it up, and I'm gonna throw it all right in there, and yeah, we're about right on track. Check back in with us in a little bit once we're cutting up and doing the dumpling. That process is the piece that takes the longest, and we're frying the dumplings. So check back in a couple more minutes, and we'll have something more to show you. Oh, very quickly, let me show you the ackee. The ackee's in the tin. It comes in that can. Bucky, while we were away, Bucky opened up all those 4 cans, put it into this colander here, and it starts to drain. And as you can see, it's you know, almost like a little pod. And it's not inside the pod there. There's a black seed. When it's on the tree, there's a black seed that's in there, and that has to come out. And then there's some pink veins that are inside there as well, beside the seeds. And those are so if you get a tin and you see any of those pink veins, please get rid of them, because those are poisonous. They'll upset your stomach. All of that has to be out of there, and that's how they process the product. Not entirely sure if it's partially cooked, or I don't think it's completely raw. I think it's partially blanched, and then they tin it and process it. And then I will cook it and add the saltfish that you saw bubbling away. Check back in a little bit. We'll have something new to show you. Thanks very much for stopping in.